There's been 70.
You said the Israeli government said it. If Ben Shapiro said that and got it wrong, then great. He's wrong.
I didn't say that. There's been 70
When you said they, you meant Ben Shapiro?
I meant
that's your argument?
I meant Jewish supremacists and Zionists as a whole, not the Israeli government, which you said.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Can we get back to what Israel did and how it's a genocide then?
Not
their lies that you think they did. Just why is it a genocide?
I'm answering.
Just tell me why it's a genocide.
I'm answering you to keep interrupting. I brought up the.
Got it. It's a genocide because Ben Shapiro lied about.
I can't answer the question. Wow. Okay, so you asked me why.
Answer the question. That'd be great.
You're not letting me talk, and you keep going. Do you want to hear the answer? Okay.
If you answer the question asked, yes, I do.
Okay. Are you okay now?
I'm good? Literally waiting.
Okay. Since October 7th, 70 times more Palestinians have died than Israelis. Israel had foreknowledge of October 7th. They allowed this attack to happen. They used this to justify killing, bombing, destroying Gaza completely. Now it's completely leveled. There are almost no buildings there. Mostly people live in tents. This is not the city that it was beforehand. October 7th was a pretext. Most of the people in Gaza... Most people, yes, it was. Most people in Gaza are children.
Not.
They have predominantly, I think, over 50% of the population are under 18. Since then, there's many videos of IDF trying to shoot the electricity supply to turn off their power, destroying their water supply.
Still waiting for death.
This is what genocide is.
Still waiting for
starvation.
That's not what genocide is.
If they just wanted to retaliate, if they just wanted to defeat Hamas, they said that they were using human shields. This is how they justified bombing hospitals. Okay. This is how they justified bombing schools.
What point do I get to answer? I got it. You're bringing up possible war crimes. This is still not genocide.
100%. They call it so many war crimes. I didn't even finish. I didn't even finish because you asked how it's a genocide.
Are you going to get to the genocide part?
I'm explaining so many reasons why it's genocide. Sniping children in the head.
Okay, it's concreticide, you guys. They destroyed all the buildings. Got it.
I said that they killed 70 times more.
Also, he thinks the Gaza Strip is a city.
Yeah, not anymore. Not anymore. The infrastructure is completely leveled. Second,
right, just so you know, Gaza Strip, FYI, the Gaza Strip is not a city. It has cities in it. It's actually 5 governments. Just FYI.
I'm differentiating between war and genocide. If it was a war, then the human shield lie that they purported, they said Yahya Sinwar was hiding behind human shields. They found him fighting on the front lines without human shields. They said Hamas was hiding.
He wasn't in the front lines. The front lines was in Gaza City at the time. He was in Rafah, which is on the other side of the Gaza Strip.
But he was not hiding. The important part was he was not hiding behind the human shields that they lied about.
He was with 2 bodyguards.
Not human shields. This is the justification they used to bomb every building, to bomb hospitals, to bomb schools. They said they were human shields. And they said, we need to go get Hamas. We need to go kill Hamas. Okay. The hospitals that they destroyed, Hamas wasn't there. They were fighting. You're putting here.
So Mohammed Sinwar was where?
Yahya Sinwar.
Mohammed Sinwar, his brother fucktard? The other guy? The other Sinwar?
Why do you get zesty when you talk about genocide? This is a complicated...
It's not about that. You try to correct me. You don't even know who Mohammed Sinwar is. You're like, you mean Yahya Sinwar? Mohammed Sinwar is the other dude.
I didn't mention Mohammed Sinwar, which is why...
Where was he? I understand. You said there was no Hamas guys in the hospitals.
I'm not talking about his brother. This is what they said. Yahya Sinwar was hiding behind human shields. He wasn't.
I don't know anyone that said that. They came out and said they killed him in Rafah. He was about a week or two. I'm just going to answer.
They said he was coward. I haven't even finished answering your first question about genocide.
Okay, but you're going so many points. At what point do I get to
because this is proof that it's not war. This is proof that it's not war. It's a genocide.
Yeah, but you don't want to hear. But you don't want to hear any counters.
If they
you're scared to hear the counters.
I'm not scared. Do you think I'm scared of you? If they are purposely targeting innocent civilians,
losing terribly.
If they're definitely targeting innocent civilians under the guise and under the lie that they're just attacking Hamas, that is proof of genocide and not war. Right. They don't care about eradicating Hamas.
So Hamas propaganda. I get to answer. You guys notice how he doesn't want me to answer?
Because I haven't finished.
Okay, perfect.
I haven't even finished answering your question.
I understand you probably have many buzzwords and points. I'm sure you do, but we can talk about it. Sneako, got it. We can still talk about something. It doesn't mean it's over after that. We can expand after. I know you know how conversations work. It's okay.
Yeah.
But
you got angry. You got angry that you couldn't ask a question that I would. You said I'm afraid of your questions. While I'm answering your question, while I'm answering the question that you got angry about, you interrupt.
I'm literally not angry. I know you keep saying I'm angry. I'm speaking at a very normal voice. I'm not angry. And I know this is like what people say
but
when
you
they're like
have this
crashing out. They're like, "Oh,
conversation.
you're so
No,
mad."
there's no one
I'm
crashing.
not mad.
You're doing like snarky things. You're like, ugh. You're like, ugh. This is
That doesn't make someone mad. That
and
just
sassy. Then
okay.
you're being. I'm answering your question and you become sassy.
Gotcha. Okay, and you're answering incorrectly, and I can't tell you why it's incorrect. So you've said a lot of things. So you said amongst many things, because it's very easy to label 30 points in 30 seconds. It's not easy to break down 30 points in 30 seconds. And I know you know this. You debate, you understand this. And so that's what a lot of pro pallies do is they want to, no, I'm still answering. And they go, ba. And then if you get to maybe answering 1 or 2 points, then they pretend they still won because 28 points weren't answered. So you said no Hamas members are hiding in hospitals or under them or anywhere near them, right? And I asked you, what about Mohammed Sinwar, who was the leader of Hamas after his brother died? He died hiding underneath the European hospital, right? So yes, they do. And furthermore, with the water being cut off, let's start with that. That was one of the first things you mentioned. I forgot a lot of what you said. So the water being cut off, are you saying the water was cut off like permanently or just temporarily?
There's videos of IDF soldiers shooting the water supply.
Right. So about 85 to 90% of water actually comes from inside Gaza via aqueducts and desalination, right? Only about 10 to 13% of water comes from 3 separate pipelines from Israel. So even if you're saying they're shooting the pipelines, that's not cutting off the water. That would be one pipe, assuming you're telling the truth, but that's not cutting off the water. First off, how long do people live without water?
How long do people live without water?
First off, I don't even know what I have no idea what you're talking about, but regardless, this idea of they cut off the water, first off, they would all be dead. All 2.1 million
that's
people
the
in Gaza
intention
would be
to
dead
shoot. That's the intention to cut off the water supply.
So why wouldn't they just cut off all water if that's what they wanted to do? That's what their intention was. Just do it all then.
Yes, obviously that would be horrible optics upon Israel, but their soldiers are doing it. They definitely took orders to do that. But if it was that explicit, then people like you wouldn't be shilling for them as much as you are.
So wait a minute, hold on. So you're saying that that's their intention. They were ordered to do it, but they also at the same time don't want to do it because it would be bad optics. How the fuck does that make any sense?
They definitely got specific orders. Maybe it was their specific intentions. Obviously, they aren't being punished if they're able to do it that way. IDF soldiers are shooting the water supply. Whether or not they got specific orders, maybe it was not a complete.
Wait, so you're admitting you made that up then?
No, I didn't make it up. There's videos of IDF soldiers shooting the water supply, and they weren't punished for it.
No, I meant the getting orders from the higher whoever, whether it's their security higher up or the government or Bibi himself.
The point is, if they feel comfortable enough to do this, they know they can get away with it. So yeah, I didn't make up that it was a specific
order. That's not what I asked you. You said they got orders from the higher ups.
No, I said potentially.
Did you make that up?
I said potentially they did.
Oh, potentially. Okay, good. So you made it up. Perfect.
No, I said the IDF. No, I didn't make up the fact that IDF soldiers are shooting off the water supply and destroying the food supply.
No, that's not what I said.
These videos exist of them destroying the eggs. When the food goes in, they destroy the crates. Mm-hmm. They made it an effort to starve them out, and IDF soldiers are making an effort to make them have no water.
Over 2 million tons, according to UNRWA, the United Nations, and even the Israeli government, but you don't believe them, so I'll go with the other two. Over 2 million tons of food had went into the Gaza Strip. According to the World Food Program, about 90,000 tons lasts the Gaza Strip about 2 months, right? Because they said it's 1 million people for 4 months. There's about 2 million people in Gaza. So for about 2 months, even if you reverse do the math, that would be about 2.5 to 3 years of food, give or take, right? Just doing quick math. According to the World Food Program, this isn't like some Israeli source, it's the World Food Program. Mm-hmm. That's what they said would last the Gaza Strip. So when you're saying they're trying to like starve them out, why would they allow over 2 million tons of food to go into the Gaza Strip?
The point is,
this wasn't 2 million tons that they wanted to, but didn't. This is the ones that actually went into the Gaza Strip.
The point is, it's genocide because cutting off the food and water is not intentionally to get Hamas. All the civilians they all need food and water. And if you don't believe it, the UN agencies, particularly the UNRWA and the WFP, the World Food Program.
Are you saying UNRWA?
Yeah, they have reported that this is the abbreviation. You could say it how you want.
UNRWA is a Palestinian organization, right. Just FYI.
The UN, but this is coming from the UN agency. They report Israeli authorities. This is not just soldiers. So I stand corrected. These are Israeli authorities, not specific soldiers. They have blocked and restricted food convoys into Gaza, and they've limited aid.
Right, for 2 months they did that, which is allowed per Article 51 of the Geneva Conventions. It specifically says that you're allowed to temporarily block food, right, for security measures as long as adequate food's in there. They had 8 months saved up before that moment when they saw, I think it was from January to March. It was about maybe 2.5 months. I think it was the middle of March that they blocked food. They're allowed to do that per Article 51.
They're allowed to block food in a such genocide.
Temporarily, correct. As long as there is adequate food, which the UN has determined was about 8 months.
It's 8 months.
Not temporarily starving them.
When did that happen?
That was actually before the starvation claim even actually came out by the IPC report. So there was actually no even starvation claim even when that was happening.
What year did that happen?
That was the 2024, I believe.
Okay, and then again, they did it in 2025. The World Food Program reported that food stocks for hot meals, they ran out on April 25, following a 7-week block on aid. So Israeli authorities blocked food from
Okay, so then it was 2025 I'm talking about.
No, that's a separate one. You said it was several months. This is 7 weeks, and this is afterwards. This is a separate starvation.
No, I said 2 months. I hope you know 7 weeks is about 2 months. You understand that, right, Sneako?
But you said it was the years prior. It wasn't in 2025.
I said it was January to March. I couldn't remember if it was 2025 or 2024. I'm assuming you're reading January to March of 2025, right?
No, this is April. April 2025. World Food Program.
Right, that's after. Yeah. You said that was after the blockade, so you are talking about January to March. April would be the month after March. So
yeah, but you're starting in January. 7 weeks. 7 weeks is not until January. The point is starvation.
It is January plus 7 weeks would get you to March, unless you not January 1st. I'm saying in January. Do you understand? There's 4 weeks in a month, right, Sneako?
Yeah, 100%. The point is that this is intentional starvation. That's the point.
Okay.
Cutting off the food and water supply.
How many people starved? How many people starved? How many people starved in Gaza? Like died from starvation?
Okay, from the humanitarian crisis. This is again from the World Food Program. Over 2 million people in Gaza are severely food insecure with famine-like conditions. 2 million.
No, I asked you how many people died from starvation.
I don't have that stat off the top of my head, but I have 2 million people.
According to Hamas,
they have 2 million people.
Hamas,
the World Food Program. So okay, people can die from many causes. Starvation is a gateway to different diseases, to different sickness. This is a way to kill people slowly. So say they have COVID after they have been starved with famine-like conditions, then it will be reported as a COVID
When did they start
They are
starving
still being starved.
I got you. I'm telling you why you're wrong. So when did the starvation start? Was it October 8th, 2023? When did they say we are now going to start starving them?
October 7th, 2023.
Okay, so and it went throughout the entire war, correct?
On and off since then, yes.
Okay, so for about 2 years, these magical people were being starved, which starve is when your body literally starts to eat itself. You're saying that these people, strongest people in history, I guess, they were all being starved. Yet somehow, even at the end of the war, Hamas claimed those that died from not just starvation, but just malnutrition was less than, according to Hamas, I don't believe their numbers, but let's go with it, was less than 400 people. But in a society of 2.1 million. Hold on one sec. 2.1 million people. Hold on one sec.
2 million people with famine-like conditions.
Okay.
2 million people. So, okay, you just want to report specific starving to death. Literally, your body.
That's not the same thing.
Okay.
No. Starvation is level 5. Okay, I'm trying to answer you, but you keep cutting me off.
The point is they're trying to kill them. You want to define starvation.
He really doesn't want to.
No. The bigger point. Okay. You want to be specifically.
This is how many people. Level 5 is what's required for starvation.
Okay.
Level 5.
The point is they are cutting off the food supply to kill them. That's the bigger point, not the definition of starvation. I know you want to harp on definitions. 2 million people have reported having famine-like conditions according to the World Food Program.
Famine is not even close to starvation. Most war
zones
have famine-like conditions.
Forcing,
so you're changing, you're moving the goalpost from starvation to normal things that happen in a lot of wars, especially in urban warfare conflict. I agree with you. There was a lot of people that had food insecurity. That happens in urban warfare. You didn't say that. You're moving the goalpost because you're getting proven wrong. You said they were starving to death. Yeah. You understand the difference between starvation and famine?
Yeah.
Famine has 5 levels according to the IPC.
It's level 5 would be starvation. And the intention is to weaken and kill them.
It's so slow that after 2 years, less than 400 people died, according to Hamas, by the way. Very, very, very slow process.
That is the intention of starving people.
70,000 birds.
What would the other intention be?
You know what happens during starvation?
What would the other intention be?
Got it. Do you know
2 million people with famine.
Right?
What's the other intention besides killing and weakening them?
Yeah, that happens in urban warfare. That's not an Israel-specific thing or Gaza-specific.
Is that right?
Urban warfare creates these conditions.
Because
I think
Hamas is not starving Israel. Okay,
sure,
so
I'd be
it's
more
wrong.
than glad to answer
Right.
you.
So
I think
starving
war.
people
Okay,
is starving
you
people is
don't.
wrong.
It's funny how you ask me a question, but you don't want to hear the answer.
Sounds familiar.
This is what people do
Sounds
when they're
familiar.
losing a debate.
Oh, sounds.
I
Wow.
understand.
I'm getting
Do you have
deja vu
something
right
to
now.
say? I'd love to hear it.
Yes.
You asked me a
The
question.
intention of cutting off food supply is to kill people.
You're
That's
just
the bigger point.
yourself. Okay.
If you want to define famine
Got it.
specifically, the greater point is Israel is trying to starve them to death.
Okay, can I answer now? Because you're just repeating what you've already said 3 times.
I didn't ask you a question. I'm telling you what
Actually,
this is.
you did. You asked me, do I think it's wrong? You literally asked the question.
And you agreed. And I'm telling you now.
I didn't agree. You just said I agreed. I never did.
You just said this act of war is wrong.
No, I didn't say that. See, that's the problem.
You just said.
I said it. Okay, see, this is the problem when you're trying to, you're losing so bad, you're trying to just yell over me.
I'm not yelling over you.
I'm literally recording this. I promise you I didn't say it.
I'm streaming it.
I said I believe war. I got it. I said I believe war is bad. That's true. I didn't say what you said was bad.
You said urban warfare. You said starvation is urban warfare. Then you said war is bad. Therefore, starving people in this forced famine is bad.
I said famine, not starvation. I said famine conditions. Right, not starvation. You notice how you changed my words?
You said famine
was
an
act. I didn't say starvation. Okay, he's cutting me off again. Go ahead.
Okay, what you want to follow these legal definitions? Do you think it's wrong?
It's not. That's actually not a legal definition. This is just actually just reality. I'm not even saying anything legal right now. Just ask you
as a person. Do you think it's right?
Okay, so you're not going to let me answer.
I'm not asking. Okay. This is the question I'm asking you. Do you think it's right that 2 million people in Palestine have famine conditions?
Do I think it's right based off what? Like, do I think Israel's doing it, or do I think the war conditions doing it?
Do you think that's morally right?
I think
while the world is watching and you're defending a place and you're against it, right? 2 million people have famine-like conditions. Is this something you're okay with?
Yeah. So I'm going to answer this, but I need you to let me answer. Okay. I think it's very easy to ask these virtue signaling questions like, hey, do you think cancer's wrong? Hey, do you think war is bad? Hey, do you think, yes, Sneako, I think all these things are wrong. What I don't want to answer is when you remove context from a situation and force this like leftist style argument where you force people to answer. I'm trying to finish one more sentence and I promise I'll let you go. When you force these arguments to ask vague questions and when someone answers that vague, like, do you think cancer is bad question? And I say yes. Then you go, see, he says cancer is bad. Why doesn't he put more funding into it? Yes, I think war is bad, Sneako. Oh my God, is war bad? Yes,
so you agree it's bad that 2 million people have famine-like conditions in Palestine. Do you also agree that Israel is the nation responsible for this famine?
No.
No, they're not responsible for it. Who's responsible?
So can you just real quick? I'm going to ask you a question.
Oh my Lord, you can't answer.
I'll tell you who's responsible.
I mean, look. So this is according to the NGO challenges say that nearly 90% requests for aid were rejected. I provided evidence that Israel is cutting off the food supply.
Can you tell me?
So they are clearly directly responsible. This is coming from the UN. This is coming from the World Food Program. That Israel is responsible for the famine of 2 million people.
Yeah.
So it's you're saying that it's close to cancer. Yes, cancer is like it's bad that people have cancer, but if we could prevent it, we should. So we can prevent the starvation, and you're supporting the nation that's responsible.
No, not starvation. It's not starvation, and I'd be more than glad to answer, but you really don't want me to.
Famine. The nation that you're defending is responsible. Is the nation you're defending responsible for this famine?
You already asked that, Sneako.
Okay.
Do you forget already?
You have many sources why. There's no, what's the other explanation?
Yeah, so again, when you remove all context with these vague virtue signaling questions, it's very easy to just get yes or no's because that's what you're looking for. You're not looking for explanation. So what I'm going to say is, can you name for me, because I'm going to ask you a question, I know it might be hard, can you name for me any urban warfare where even a city, a state, borders, whatever you want to call it, big or small, that was isolated by the other belligerent that gave more food or even as much food as Israel has sent in, even with all that 90% denial, has sent into the Gaza Strip? Can you name one time in all of even just, I was just going to say modern history, but even history, where they allowed more food or even as much food as even according to UNRWA, the United Nations has gone into the Gaza Strip? Can you name? How about Saudi Arabia with Yemen? Has Saudi Arabia in 10 years given more food?
You're
not going to answer, are you?
You're not going to answer the question. The question was, who's responsible for this starvation? You didn't answer.
Yeah, so I think war, again, I don't think there's a mass starvation. You are trying to use the word famine, apply mass starvation. First off, even the IPC didn't even say there was starvation across the whole Gaza Strip.
The IPC reported, well, you want to bring up the IPC? The IPC reported that 600.
Please bring it up. I read all 87 pages. Please bring it up. I will fucking school you on the IPC report. Yeah. It says Gaza Government was labeled as a level 5. Do you know what the Gaza Government is, Sneako?
641,000 people were projected to be in IPC phase 5 starvation, if you want to bring up the IPC.
Right, projected. When did they actually claim it? Projection is not when they actually label it.
So you think this is a lie?
So can you tell me?
This is a lie?
No, of course not. What I said is projection is what they do. The way the IPC reports do is they make a projection and then they determine if that projection is correct. There was only one time that they actually determined that, and it was for the Gaza Government. Do you know what the Gaza Government is? For the second time I'm asking.
You're still deflecting.
It's literally the same exact subject.
Who is responsible for the famine?
I've already answered this. No, war in urban.
So war is responsible. War is responsible for the famine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no, I'm trying to answer beyond that, but you only let me say 1 or 2 words, and you cut me off.
War is not. There's people that are cutting off supply. War is not responsible for the actions of people.
You notice how he was very cordial at the beginning, and then when he started losing,
very cordial right now because you're trying to justify.
You're not letting me answer beyond 1 word. Because I was trying to answer.
War is a very stupid answer.
You're correct. That's a dumb answer because it's not the full answer. You're right. That's true, Sneako.
So just say
when you cut people off after 1 word, it does kind of,
because it's a people responsible for it. What people are responsible for this famine?
Well, actually, that's not particularly true. I say it's a group. I wouldn't just say it's just a people. Okay.
What group of people?
So what I would say is who started the war. War causes these let me say more. I can already tell you're about to interrupt. War causes these conditions in every urban warfare conflict in all of modern history. The fact that you think it's like some kind of specialty for just Gaza or Israel is laughable. So when you ask who started the war, very clearly, this war post-October 7th was started by Hamas and the collaborators of Hamas, like the PIJ, PFLP, DFLP, Army of Islam, PRC, Mujahideen brigades, etc. So that's the full answer. I just needed to get to it.
They have been bombed, and we started with 1948, and I'm very glad we started there because they have been bombed.
Why did we start with 48? Why would you start with 48?
They've been kicked out of their homes because this does not start on October 7th. This has been going on nonstop.
I agree. It didn't start on October 7th.
This is when it was declared a war. You said that war was responsible. We have clarified in the beginning who started taking the land. Therefore, the people that moved in there was already a civilization. They are responsible for the war. They are the ones who started.
Okay, so when did the war start? You said 48?
Yes.
In 1936, when they targeted and slaughtered 510 Jews during the Third Jaffa riots. What was the reason for that if it didn't start till 48, Sneako? Can you answer that without deflecting?
We're talking about this land, these people. This is where this.
It was literally. I'm talking about the exact same land, Sneako. I'm not talking. It's literally in Palestine. Why did they target and slaughter 510 Jews during the Third Jaffa riots? That was 12 years. Started 12 years before 1948. So you said, and I quote, it started in 1948. I wanted to make sure I heard you say that. So can you explain, without deflecting, can you explain why they did that?
No. We're talking about the states of Israel and Palestine.
Oh, so you want to purposely start it only on the convenient year for you, and
because you will move because you are trying to talk about it's a conflict between two nations. So if we're going to talk about conflict between two nations, because you're saying war is responsible, then we have to
say two nations. Hamas is not a nation. That was a stupid point. That was a really stupid point.
That's clearly the resistance. Never said two nations. That's the resistance representing. That's like saying IDF
not of a nation.
That's like saying okay, that's as stupid as saying IDF is not
Israel.
IDF
is Israel. What is Hamas?
It's a political organization that wasn't even majority voted.
Not of a nation. Not of a nation.
According to you. These
according
are
to international law, according to anyone that's not
on going
delusional.
About semantics. So you're saying that war is responsible, so it's between two groups of people, two states.
Right. So answer my question about 36. 2 regions. What was the reason? You notice how he won't answer it. Why, if you said it started in 48, what was the reason for slaughtering 510 Jews in 36? Why is that such a hard question to answer? It's not a ridiculous question. You said it started in 48.
Tell me.
Well, I can tell you is because it isn't just about Zionism or Israel. It's about Jews. But you don't believe that, so I have to ask you. Don't ask me to answer for you just because you don't have an answer. Why would I answer for you?
I'm answering your question. Between two groups of people, this could only be because you're going on about semantics and legal definitions. It started in 1948. This is when this conflict started. This is what is the pretext for what happened on October 7th. It's not convenient that
So the Balfour Declaration wasn't involved at all, because that was in 1917.
It did not come into action until 1948. Oh, that's a great point. So maybe that
actually the Balfour Declaration never came into. Wait, stop! You just got something else wrong. The Balfour Declaration never applied because the Balfour Declaration was prior to 1921 when the British. Correct. The British created the Transjordan, the Emirate of Transjordan, in 1921. So the Balfour Declaration actually referred to all of today's Jordan and today's Israel, Palestine, whatever you want to call it. And they took 77, really 78% of the land, gave it to the Arabs, kicked out all the Jews, by the way, that lived there and legally owned land there, kicked them all out and said no Jews were allowed to migrate there. Ironically, Jews didn't seem to become fucking terrorists after that. They didn't start screaming. Actually, why is there no free Palestine movement in Jordan today? They took the Palestinian land. They don't call it Palestine. The governing power in Jordan are not Palestinians. Why is it that they don't call for a free Palestine? And we're not talking about a tiny portion. It's 78% of the entire land.
Okay, so now you went to Jordan. We went off of several different topics. We covered October 7th.
Oh, we don't have to go to Jordan if you want to answer about 36. That'd be great, since you deflected from that.
Jews have been kicked out of land. They've been kicked out of 109 countries.
I don't know what that has to do with my question. This is a total deflection.
It's not a total deflection. This is a deflection. This is a separate subject. This conflict started in 1948. If it didn't start
until 48, then why did they kill Jews in 1936 if it had nothing to do with this conflict? Because you said it didn't start until 48.
If you want to but the reason it's a deflection, because if you want to talk about the expulsion of Jews, if you want to talk about the fact that they've been kicked out of countries, we could bring up.
I'm not talking about that at all. You're talking about that. I never mentioned that.
You're bringing that separate from Israel and Palestine. Israel and Palestine started in 1948.
Literally talking about in Palestine, in the land in 1936. They slaughtered 500. How about this? 1929 in Hebron. Do you know where Hebron is, Sneako? Do you agree that's Palestine?
Separate conversation. So you could see that these were riots.
Thing. We're talking about the conflict.
The riots. Well, you're saying 1936. Let's answer this one. You said 1936, so we can move on to another subject.
Oh,
finally.
You do want to answer it. So somebody finally gave you the answer. Cool. Let's hear it.
You've been listening to AI and reading your thing. It was riots, and even then, it's reported too. It's reported that
looking at the screen.
It was riots, right? So people die in riots. There's always infiltration from different intelligence groups, and actually, Arabs defended the Jews in these riots. They're not responsible for this.
Oh, really? That's why they slaughtered them. Interesting. How about in 1929
how do you blame that?
Hebron?
So how do you say about the Arabs that were defending the Jews?
Yeah. So again, I'm telling you about what happened physically. Right? This idea, whatever your friends sent you, is ridiculous. In 1929, they went to an anti-Zionist community. Ones that were so anti-Zionist that the Haganah went to go defend them, and they said, "Get out of here, you Zionists." They went to them and they Great. They went Haganah. No, you're thinking maybe Irgun, but Haganah. What are you talking? Whatever. You're just trying to deflect. 1929, they went to an anti-Zionist community and slaughtered them. Why did they do that? I thought it was about Israel and Zionism. What was the purpose of slaughtering anti-Zionist Jews for?
Well, the Arabs were defending. To call that a genocide is not equivalent to what's going on, especially if you have.
I didn't call that a genocide. I never called that a genocide. I don't even know why you said that. That was a stupid answer.
Applying this response completely to Arabs or Muslims is a false equivalency.
I'm applying it.
It's not the same to what's happening since 1948.
To you saying the conflict started in 48. I think it's very convenient to say it started. I think it's ridiculous when people say the whole conflict started on October 7th. It's stupid. It's dumb. Of course, the conflict didn't start on October 7th.
We agree.
This specific context started on October 7th, but the conflict, of course, it didn't. It's equally as stupid to say it started on this arbitrary date. It's ridiculous. You sound just as dumb. You sound just as dumb as people who say it started on October 7th.
I sound dumb. It's as stupid as somebody like you, a goyim, defending a state that would not exist right now.
It's just goy. Goyim is plural, genius. Just FYI.
Goyim, you're a goy. Goys, whatever. I'm glad you know it because you are one and you're one of the top goys. If you're calling it stupid,
means nation in Hebrew.
There's nothing more stupid than somebody here who's defending a state that was using pedophile blackmail to get American politicians money. Right here. So who did Epstein work for? If you're going to say I'm stupid, you're here Epstein was only targeting your
really
people.
Wants
you really
to
are
change
white.
the subject.
Changes because you're going to talk about stupidity. There's nothing more stupid. There is nothing more stupid than a goy sitting here defending a state that allowed Epstein to rape.
You're right. I should defend Muslims. You're right.
Okay. Why are you? Supporting the state? You absolutely should.
No, convince me. Tell me why I should defend Muslims.
No. Don't deflect now. Don't deflect now.
Oh, the guy that deflected to Epstein doesn't want to deflect to his pedophile prophet. Wow. Okay. Call me. I'm so shocked. I'm so shocked. He deflected to Epstein when nobody brought up Epstein. But the second I brought up Islam, he's like, no.
We can talk about that. Deflect. We could talk about all that.
No, we don't have to. I just find that hilarious.
You find it hilarious?
I find that ironic.
There's nothing more hilarious than a goy defending a state that would not exist without Epstein.
Yeah. I got it. Yeah, you've said that already.
Okay, so let's talk about this. We'll talk about anything that you want to talk about. Let's talk about Epstein right now. Who did Epstein work for?
So you're allowed to deflect to something else, but
you don't want to talk about it? I answered every single one of your questions.
It's not about wanting to talk about it. I just find it ironic.
I answered every single one of your questions. I answered every one of your questions. We went to October 7th. We went to your famine definition. We went to your starvation definition. Who did Epstein work for?
Yeah, again, this idea, Epstein was a disgusting piece of shit, just like the Prophet Muhammad. I think they're equally bad. I don't like pedophilia. Disgusting. If anyone's a pedophile, they should be castrated. Just so you know, Muhammad's Aisha was 4 to 5 years younger. 4 to 5 years younger than Epstein's youngest victim, and they're both equally disgusting.
I thought you were.
Who doesn't want to?
I thought you were a hadith expert.
I don't want to talk about that, please.
I do want to talk about it.
Mashallah, please.
I thought you were a hadith expert. First off, this is not confirmed and reliable hadith. Let's talk about Epstein.
Sahih al-Bukhari, 5133, narrated by Aisha herself. It says,
"Is this your tactic when Epstein?"
I was 6.
Yeah, this hadith is
Epstein's disgusting.
This is not part of the reliable hadith.
It's Sahih al-Bukhari. It's Sahih al-Bukhari, the most accepted hadiths in the world.
That's not true. You still haven't answered the question. I've answered every single one of your questions. You're going to hadith. You're going to your different thing. You're insulting the prophet.
He said Sahih al-Bukhari is not accepted. That is insane.
Not accepted as confirmed. Hadith is up to interpretation, and there's different schools of thought.
What does Sahih mean?
Answer the question before you keep deflecting. I answered all your questions. Who did Epstein work for?
Who did he work for?
Yes.
I have no idea
who he worked for. Okay, so you have.
I guess. Okay, I'll answer my guess.
You know about how you have no idea. You have no idea who he worked for. Who funded him?
Sure, I'd be more than glad. I will tell you, there are many people that he had connections with, including Israelis like Ehud Barak. Disgusting. He had relations with a lot of Arab leaders, including getting the Kaaba to the cloth of the Kaaba to his own personal self. Also disgusting people. He had relations with U.S. government personnel or government officials. Also disgusting. He had a lot with Russian. Also disgusting. I think they're all equally disgusting. In fact, the Israeli government people like Benjamin Netanyahu and Smotrich both called out Ehud Barak years before America was even talking about it because of his relations with Jeffrey Epstein. Yes, you're correct. He had relations with a lot of people.
No, not relations. Who did he work for?
You believe he worked for the Mossad?
No, I'm asking what I believe. I'm asking you, who did Epstein work for? Answer the question.
I have no idea.
You have no clue who he worked for. You have no idea.
There's over like 4 million pages that have been released so far. I have not read them all.
You have no idea what state he supported. You have no idea about the emails calling other people goyim. You have no idea about Ehud Barak, former Israeli prime minister.
Those.
Okay, you've read those. So you have the Israeli flag right behind you.
I'm just confused real quick. Do you think goyim is automatically? I'm answering your point.
No, you're
not.
Do
you think goyim is like automatically just like a derogatory term?
You're deflecting again. And Epstein definitely used it as a derogatory term.
You literally just said it, dude. Yeah. How am I deflecting? You just said that. Yeah. You said the email saying goyim.
And I'm answering you. Yeah, Epstein definitely used it as a derogatory term. Ehud Barak, former Israeli prime minister.
Do you think I'm going to defend Epstein? He was a pedophile.
It sounds like you are. Yeah, like,
he's a disgusting
you 100% are saying that he worked for Russia or worked for Saudi Arabia is retarded. That is the most retarded thing I've ever.
I said he had relations with these people. He literally did. Are you denying? Wait, real quick. Can you just say that for the camera? Are you denying that he didn't have any relations with these people?
Of course, but who was he working for was the question, and you deflected off of that. Running cover for
I didn't deflect. I said I have no idea.
You said relations when the question was work. Somebody running cover for the most brutal, disgusting pedophile blackmail operation of all time might be the most disgusting
I have no idea who he worked for.
You are running cover.
He is
you are running
the
cover
fuck
for Epstein
out.
right now. I'm crashing out.
How is me? Can you just answer a quick question before?
You're acting clueless about this.
A quick question?
No. You're not answering my question.
Away?
You said you said you have no idea who he worked for. So I'm going to follow up. Because let's stay on this. Know. I answered all your questions. You don't know.
Just tell me who he worked for.
I tell you. I'm just like you. I'm doing research. We're trying to find conclusive evidence.
So why is your answer different than mine?
You said you have no idea, right? But you know that Ehud Barak, former Israeli prime minister, not only stayed at his house.
Can I answer more than a couple words?
No, you can't. I'm in charge. He visited around 30 times.
He doesn't want to hear an answer.
He said that he was going to meet with your prime minister, Netanyahu, whose flag you have behind you. You are representing a flag where the prime minister visited Epstein, allegedly 30 times in his Manhattan apartment.
You're saying Benjamin Netanyahu visited Epstein?
I said Ehud Barak did, dummy. Benjamin Netanyahu, he was going to have...
Barak is disgusting.
Oh, okay, the former one, just not the current one. He said he was going to meet with Netanyahu, the
just
prime
like
minister.
I think Clinton is discussing the former president. What a stupid point.
Oh, okay, so
Clinton was a former president. I think he's disgusting too. What was the point?
Look, you deflecting and trying to talk about his relations, who he was working for. What state was he benefiting?
What's the point?
What state was he benefiting and who was he working for? Huh? You're sweating now. Leon Black, right, was financing him. Was he Russian? Leslie Wexner, was he Saudi? This is the people that turned him into a billionaire that funded this island. Were these people spies for Qatar? They're all wrong. So, okay, now that you know.
Once again, they're disgusting.
It's disgusting. Now you are willfully ignoring the evidence in front of you.
Answer?
Okay, so Jewish Zionists funded him. His girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, right? Her father was Mossad. Whatever. Robert Maxwell, that's her father.
Her father wasn't the Mossad. Her father wasn't the Mossad. That comes from a book, just so you know.
You're saying Robert Maxwell wasn't Mossad?
No, I'm saying it's not been confirmed. Let me just answer more than a couple words. You're like literally yelling and screaming.
Yelling and screaming. Oh, don't victimize yourself now. You're running cover. You're running
Sneako,
cover
can
for
you
pedophile
take a breath?
island. I can't take a breath because you're
He really doesn't
you're
want
ignoring
me to
right
answer.
now. No. Robert Maxwell was 100% Mossad.
He
was 100%
Okay, can you just tell me
Mossad.
how? Maybe I'm wrong. Can you tell me how you know that?
He's been credited by Israeli officials at being the founder and being the arms. From? This comes from Israeli officials. This comes from the fact that
who?
He was being paid by Mossad. He was being paid by Israeli government. He was
Can you just tell me who? You just keep saying that this happened. Trust me, bro. Perfect. See, you have to Google, so you don't know. It comes from the book that was actually promoted on Candace Owens' show. I actually read that book.
Long before. This came along before Candace Owens.
I said she promoted it on her show. I didn't say she wrote the book. Dude, you have to listen before you answer.
You said it came from
I didn't. I said she again, I'm recording it. You'll see the clips. I said she promoted it. I promise you I said that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, guys, shout out to my YouTube. You'll see this. Anyway, so it said, so again, she promoted it. Not it came from her show. Of course, Candace Owens doesn't write that shit. So anyways, what it says is this guy who wasn't even actually an official anymore. He said that it was alleged that there were people who believed, and this is what his book says, that Robert Maxwell did work, not even worked for the Mossad, but did work with the Mossad. Now, it's possible. Hold on one sec. Relax. Don't crash out again. You're doing good. So it's possible because he said that somebody alleged that this is true. Now, is it possible he's right? Of course it is. But that's not the same thing as evidence, Sneako. That's someone saying that he heard someone else say it. Of course it could be right. And guess what? If it is right, well, I'm not going to blame him, but Ghislaine, absolutely disgusting. She shouldn't even be in just prison. She should be executed. Jeffrey Epstein, I wish, could survive, so they castrated him. You're saying I'm running cover for a guy that I'm literally saying is disgusting.
Because it's very clear who we work for. He fled to Israel after sex crimes, and they protected him.
You have no information. You just Googled. Tell me what you read.
Okay, this has been suspect that he was smuggling weapons. He has ties to Mossad.
No, I meant about the
okay, you want to hear actual information?
Did you just say it's been speculated? You just said it's been speculated. That's what I said. How come what you're saying is wrong?
I'm going to bring... Okay.
Wait a minute.
Do you want evidence?
Said the same exact thing, and you said I was running cover. Yeah. You just repeated what I said.
No. I'm giving you actual evidence right now. Jeffrey Epstein himself said that Mossad executed Robert Maxwell after he tried to extort them of 500 million pounds. Because he had secrets. He had secrets that Mossad had. Only a Mossad agent has Mossad secrets to that extent.
Jeffrey Epstein said that he was a Mossad agent and he was executed for...
Epstein said that Mossad allegedly assassinated Robert Maxwell because he tried to extort Mossad of their secrets. Only an agent is going to be able to have secrets of Mossad at that level.
Okay, what are you reading right now so I can look into this? Listen,
that's in the
Sneako,
Epstein
you
files.
Understand,
that's in the Epstein files. That's off the top. That's off the top of the dome. Go look at the Epstein files for yourself. You've done all this reading. Oh, I read all this hadith. You don't read the Epstein files. Christ. You have the flag of a country behind you where Epstein's fingerprints are all over it. You don't research that. You look away on this, but hadith you're an expert in. I'm not crashing out. This is how ridiculous.
I'm trying to answer you the difference between the Epstein files. I'm trying to answer you the difference between the Epstein files and 20,000 hadiths. Hadiths are sometimes a sentence long to maybe a paragraph. The Epstein files are over that has been released. I think it's 4 to 5 million pages. It's so stupid to say, well, you've read this many hadiths and you haven't read the Epstein files. Dude, have you read all the Epstein files? Of course you have.
I read enough to make to have a conclusive claim that he worked for Israel. Again, since you want more evidence.
Right, I'm going to look this up.
Okay, you're going to look it up?
Well, I'm going to look up. I'm going to look it up to see if you're even telling the truth. And you should probably rip down that flag.
If I can prove to you that Epstein was an Israeli operation, are you going to rip that flag down?
Israeli operation?
Yes.
By what? By current Israel today? Like the people in government today or before?
Netanyahu was still in charge. He said he was going to meet with Netanyahu. He said a meeting set up. If this was an Israeli operation to get Epstein to blackmail American politicians to support Israel, will you rip down that flag? You said it's disgusting.
I don't think you'll be able to prove that whatever.
Okay, do you want to hear a quote? While you Google things like a good goy, Prime Minister Yitzhak Shamir.
I'm already, real quick, I already looked up the first thing, and that's not true. So can you provide where you're getting that from? About Epstein saying that Robert Maxwell was assassinated by the Mossad?
I'll give all of that to you. The second one, if you want.
No, I want that one first.
I don't really care what you want. You're covering up for Epstein. Prime Minister Yitzhak Shamir reportedly stated that Maxwell has done more for Israel today than can be said. Prime Minister, Israeli Prime Minister said Robert Maxwell has done more for Israel than can today be said.
Cool. I will be more than glad. Can you prove your first point instead of running away from it because you lied?
You don't like this one? You don't like the Prime Minister?
No, it's not about liking it or not. Okay. I don't particularly care what people in the past said.
You don't.
If you want me to say they're disgusting,
but you have the nation of you have the flag right here, and the former prime minister of that country says Robert Maxwell did more for Israel than can today be stated, and you said you don't care.
That's amazing.
If you don't care what happened in the past, wait a second. You said you don't care about the past. Then why are you harping on about 1936? Why are you harping on about 1927? Why do you keep talking about October 7th? You don't care about the past?
I'd be more than glad to answer. You guys notice how he doesn't let me answer.
Well, I'm following your line of logic. I'm following your line of logic.
No, you're not, because
you said you don't care about what happened in the past. You don't care.
I didn't say that. I said I don't care about what someone just said in the past. I didn't say I don't care about the past. Specifically with Robert Maxwell, are you telling me Robert Maxwell was doing something with the Epstein Island? Should I condemn Robert Maxwell? I thought the only reason you brought up Robert Maxwell was because of Ghislaine Maxwell. Is that correct?
Because you said,
what does Robert Maxwell doing? Hold on. What does Robert Maxwell doing so much for the state of Israel have to do with Epstein?
Right. Ghislaine Maxwell was his girlfriend, correct? So now we have confirmed.
I agree with that, but what does Robert Maxwell doing so much for the state of Israel? Why is that a bad thing?
That's one of the 100,000 pieces of evidence that Epstein worked for Israel.
The fact that hold on, you're not answering the question.
I am answering the question. I am answering the question.
I said I don't care.
Your mic cut out. Your mic's off. It's not me, it's you. Your mic's off. Oh, he's running from Epstein now. Why are you running? Why are you running? Look at this guy running. He's running. He muted the mic. Mossad got his microphone. Chat, wallahi, it's him. Let me. There you go. You just fix it. You just fix it. Okay. Now, okay. Let me answer.
Dude, everyone in my chat is saying they can hear me. What are you doing?
You just fix it. You just fix it. I'm not.
Okay, great.
I don't need to lie like you. I don't need to lie and pretend like I don't know who Epstein works for. Okay, so you wanted.
Okay, great. Anyway, what I was saying. Hold on, I was speaking.
Let's go back to the bigger point.
So what I was saying is you said that Robert Maxwell was said to be doing so much for the state of Israel. Why is that a problem? Is Robert Maxwell a bad person, or are you talking about Ghislaine Maxwell being a bad person?
Okay, so I'm giving you one piece of 100,000 pieces of evidence that Epstein worked for Israel. One of the major factors is that Ghislaine Maxwell, the top pimp for this pedophile blackmail that you're running cover from, her father was Mossad. Former Israeli prime minister said he had done more for Israel than can be stated today. You want the email from the Epstein files where people figured out why he was passed away. In the Epstein files, Robert Maxwell says this is from Jeffrey Epstein. I'll read it to you because you want to be a good goy.
Jeffrey Epstein also said he hated Israel.
Oh, did he?
He literally said, "I don't like Israel at all." So what? Jeffrey Epstein was a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
This is what's funny.
Oh no! You wanted the piece of evidence. You keep deflecting.
Are you going to give the evidence finally?
Yes, I'm reading it and then you're interrupting and deflecting
perfect.
again.
Then I will shut up. If you're going to give the first thing you promised about 20 minutes ago,
I'm trying to, but you keep trying to talk over me so you can run away.
No, go ahead. I guarantee you, bet anything he doesn't give it.
Okay, great. Jeffrey Epstein emailed saying Robert Maxwell threatened Mossad. He told them unless they gave him 400 million pounds to save his crumbling empire, he would expose all he had done for them. In that time, he had access to Margaret Thatcher's Downing Street, Ronald Reagan's White House, to the Kremlin, and to the corridors of power throughout Europe. Maxwell passed on all the secrets he learned to Mossad in Tel Aviv. In turn, they tolerated his excesses, vanities, and insatiable appetite for a luxurious lifestyle in women. He told his controllers...
How is this providing me with the evidence?
Oh my God. One more time,
First
because
off,
your brain's broken.
Real quick, I just want to make sure. Are you saying that you're saying Epstein said this, so you believe what Epstein said, is what you're saying?
This is one piece of the millions of pieces of evidence that Epstein worked for Israel. You asked, why do I bring up Robert Maxwell? I'm giving you a piece of evidence where Epstein is privately emailing why he was assassinated.
Why was it a problem that Maxwell did a lot for Israel as a possible Mossad agent or not? I don't see what the problem with that was. Was Maxwell, not Ghislaine, Robert Maxwell, like a pedophile? Was he working on the island or something? What is the problem?
You wanted proof. You agreed that Epstein was an evil pedophile and you said he should be castrated, right? Then you said, I don't know who he worked for. So now I'm giving you one of the million pieces of evidence that he worked for Israel. I said Ehud Barak visited his estate allegedly 30 times in Manhattan. There's pictures of him sneaking in. I said he was financed by Leon Black and Leslie Wexner, not Russians and not Saudis like you're insinuating. He was funded by Jewish Zionists in America whose allegiance is with Israel. That's who he got his money from. Then I pointed out that the top pimp of the organization, Ghislaine Maxwell, his girlfriend, her father was Mossad. You said, I don't know if he's Mossad. I'm telling you, in the Epstein files, Epstein is saying that they were going to assassinate him, or they wanted to assassinate him, and this is assuming why he passed away, because Robert Maxwell tried to extort Mossad of 400 million pounds, and he would expose all Mossad had done. This is an email from Jeffrey Epstein. How many more pieces of evidence do you need to stop running cover for a pedophile state?
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now because there's something right here in the files that actually debunks that email, but I'm trying to get it because you won't tell me what to look up, so I'm trying my hardest to like find it as you're speaking.
Okay, so here you go. I'll type the link in for you because you're
finally
a little bit slow.
Give it to me.
Okay, so I was reading it for you because you asked me to read it because you didn't want to look it up for yourself.
I never asked any of that.
Okay, you asked where's the evidence? I gave you the evidence and now you want the link. So there, go to jmail.world.
No, so jmail.world, dude, I know how to do. There's a search on the DOJ website. You can also search. I'm asking what to search, but it's fine.
Robert Maxwell threatened Mossad. Cuffham, thank you for the raid. Appreciate it, Cuffham.